All right, looks like we're live right now. What's up, everybody? What's up, GSD fam? Hope you guys are having a great and happy Friday today, or whenever you do watch this. So, if you're watching this live, as usual, hashtag live. If you're on the replay, hashtag replay. Today, we're going to be talking with Mason, who's one of our GSD private students in the Elite Mastermind. And we're going to be walking through his journey of how he was able to kind of level up his agency by following some systems, some processes that we've been able to help him with. But first, I want to allow him to introduce himself really quickly here.
Yeah, so as Rahul said, my name is Mason. I'm part of the inner circle group now, but just to give you a bit of background, I run an agency, obviously helping real estate agents. I'm not sure where it is. There it is, obviously kind of in the name. But so generating appointments, live transfers, that type of stuff. For real estate agents, quick background though, before I joined the program. So I only started my agency back in September. I actually was a mechanical engineer full-time. Did that for 5 years after school. It's what I got my degree in. Just didn't really enjoy the lifestyle. I knew I wasn't going to get to where I wanted to get in that. I was just unfulfilled. So quit my job on September 18th, started my agency on September 19th, and just hit the ground running. And here we are. I joined the GSD program. I joined some other courses way back, but then to get me started. And then I really needed to go to the next level. To where I'm at now, around the low 30s in terms of monthly recurring revenue. I joined the program a month and a half, maybe 2 months ago. I think it was mid-March. So actually, yeah, about two months ago. And here we are. So from zero to a little over $30,000 monthly recurring between now and then. So.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. Like to be able to walk out of your office and start the very next day, it kind of reminds me of how I got started as well. I used to work at a small company called Realtor.com back in the days and did the same thing, walked out, started an agency on my way to my car. But anyways, like, yeah, so before you started working with us, like what were you doing or what were you struggling with the most to kind of grow the business?
Yeah, so for me, it was more so, it got to the point of systems. So I came into the program being around, I was somewhere between $10,000 and $12,000, I want to say, monthly recurring. So I was able to get there kind of on my, well, I don't want to say on my own because I did have help from some other programs to get me there. But then my problem from there was really dialing in my systems, right? So also once you surpass that you're in that $10,000 to $15,000 a month mark, your problems are different. Your mindset has to be a little bit different in terms of how to get to that next level. And how to do it efficiently too. So like that was my biggest struggle, dialing in. Like my organic outreach was going well, but in terms of like how to dial in my sales process, because sales was new to me. I was an engineer. We're not necessarily known for being people, you know. So I'd never had sales experience in the past. My jobs even before being an engineer. So that was all new to me. So sales. Paid advertisements, because I hadn't dabbled in that at all, in which I have up and running now. And then just overall the systems and just overall support, because I think in a lot of other programs, what I was struggling with is not necessarily was a fault to the programs, because I knew what I was getting and they didn't offer this, but I really needed something where I had more one-on-one time or like more intimate sales calls coaching and coaching calls and stuff like that, which you guys offer. So like, that's where I was struggling, because I needed a little bit more one-on-one time, because I didn't know how to handle those bigger issues once I surpassed the 10, like I was in that 10 to 15 monthly recurring revenue mark. So those were probably the biggest things for me.
Yeah. Like, so, I mean, how has that impacted you personally, like from a growth momentum?
Oh, like I don't know if I can put words to it. So, I mean, I can put numbers to it, I guess. So like I said, I joined the program somewhere, I want to say, I think I was around 11,000, 12,000 monthly recurring. And between now and then in the last 2 months, like I said, I'm at low 30s now. It's 31 and some change, or 32 and some change in monthly recurring revenue. So the numbers speak for themselves. I mean, in the past month, I've added 6 clients alone in the past month and a week, something like that, which is basically comes out to kind of like what you displayed for this live, about it's basically $100,000 even in contracts in 3 to 12 months. So it's done wonders.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. And those are big numbers, because like when you mentioned you just acquired 6 accounts just this month alone, we still got a lot of time left too. But most importantly, a lot of agencies are still stuck at 6 or under after years.
Yeah.
Now, what allows you to kind of be the show that you have, like the team that you have, and still have the ability to scale?
So can you reword that just one more time, Rahul?
Yeah. So you have a small team, and it's
Yeah.
primarily comprised of you, and you're starting to build it out right now with our help.
Yeah.
How are you able to sustain $32,000 a month right now with the systems and process that you've now put into your hands?
Oh, gotcha. I see what you mean. Yeah. So just to clarify for people too, when Rahul mentions that I have a small team, just so everybody else is clear. So like it is me. It is my one VA that does all my organic outreach. And then I have one in-house ISA right now. But we're still operating smoothly. Of course, not all of my ISA doesn't handle all of my like 11 client accounts now. So I have some help from like outsourcing that. But we are still running smoothly. As to why, I would say, like I said, I needed those systems. And so when I came into the program, you guys literally lay it out on a silver platter. Like I'm not trying to, like, I wouldn't say it if it wasn't true. It really is the truth in terms of just like plugging and playing. Like we have your SOPs that we can use, that we can handle our agents. You have ISA and the VA University to help train. So like I didn't have to pay thousands of dollars to get my ISA to already start being able to book appointments in the first couple of weeks, because you guys had a training that allowed me to train her myself. So like all of that type of stuff. So, and then also just how in depth the systems and the coaching is within the program. Obviously you have the coaching, so that helps, but really when it comes down to my team being this small and being able to operate at that scale, it's because of the systems, really. And so like, especially when it comes to the back end with, I think a lot of people struggle with the onboarding. Like, oh, if I have 3 people onboarding right now, I can't do any more work because I'm doing all the onboarding, I'm doing all the fulfillment. And so you guys lay out, I've been in probably 2-3 other courses before this one, and I have not seen that level of detail in fulfillment, having GHL snapshots available that we can plug and play, all that type of stuff. So like it was almost like I didn't even have to really work up to get the systems in place, because like you built the system, I just pulled it over into my environment, plugged my team in, and like we're up and running. So that was probably the biggest
I love that. Yeah, because we like to talk about it truly as an agency in a box. And
yeah.
I think where we came up with that idea was our brain patterns, like at least me, the way I think is that I need things like very, very specific. I'm like a 10-year-old's brain sometimes. And when things are foreign to me and then they can be laid out in a format where anybody can plug and play quickly, that's how we teach and how we like to put the documents together so people don't get stuck. They do show up. They don't get demotivated because things are scary or confusing or whatever, because there's so many excuses people can make, and we just wanted to do our best in this program to eliminate any friction whatsoever so people can get the best result. Like, I mean, and you're a byproduct of that. I mean, it's just amazing to see where you've come from. Now, like, where do you think you'd be had you not kind of like jumped into the program?
Probably knowing that I've also gone through some churn, obviously, since I'm still green, right? Even though I'm at $30-some thousand a month now, I still only started in September. So less than a year I've been doing this. So I'm obviously still working through those kinks, which you guys help coach me through too. And I've been able to save people. I've also been able to up my retention, but because I was dealing with churn, I don't know if I would have been able to take this many clients on as quickly without the sales knowledge I got from you, tweaking what I was doing on my sales presentation a little bit, the objection handling you guys teach. So that being said, if I was still at that 10 to 12,000 month mark, I think I would still be there, because I knew beforehand I was closing deals, not nearly at the rate that I'm closing them now, but I was also losing people. So now though, with your help, I've been able to take on enough people, and I have that extra support to keep some of those people longer by implementing some of the fulfillment things, and also being able to talk people off cliffs, which I didn't really know how to do before because I was dealing with those conversations for the first time. So I think honestly, I'd still be in that $10,000 to $12,000 a month range. I have enough faith in myself that I know that I don't think I would dip much below that, because I was making sales, but I wouldn't be here. That's for certain.
Yeah, I mean, going from like 10 to 30 or 12 to 32, I mean, that's a pretty big jump. I mean, if you look at it from an annual run rate, I mean, that's almost $250,000. So that's quite a bit of cash flow. And it's only going to go up, because The fact that you're newer and green, I mean, you're ahead of a lot of other agencies in such a short period of time, which is still amazes me. But the fact is now you have like a foundation that's so important that so many agency owners try to chase a shiny object, and they try to, since you have an engineering background, it also allows your brain to process things a little bit differently. But my comment to everybody out there is that, like, it's easy to start an agency. It's not easy to run it for a long period of time that you like, that you enjoy. So the foundation couldn't be more important. Almost like, think of yourself as if you're renting a home or buying a home. Like, would you want a home that was built just on quicksand? And that's what we want to help as many people avoid doing, because then you don't go through the peaks and the valleys. The 10 o'clock was awesome. 11 o'clock, you want to kill yourself. Yeah. Mentality, because I can easily have it. It's lonely being a fucking entrepreneur sometimes, right?
Yeah,
so that's true. You have that support system. It's super helpful. So outside of just the training, like, how has been like the support or the other group members impacted you?
Oh, it's awesome. So I've already had one-on-one calls with some people in the, like, we have, I guess what I like too, there's different support channels. One, I want to add this note too, because I feel like there's probably other people watching this that haven't made the jump into this program yet, like in the inner circle, but they have experience with the other courses. That even when I was very transparent with you when we got on our call before I joined the program, Rahul, like, on a surface level, this program does look identical to several others that are out there. But until you actually see the inner workings, you schedule a call and you get to see what you guys have available, it's 10 times better than, like, because that was my biggest concern. Remember, I told you, I was like, I'm already in a program where I invested quite a bit of money to be in that one. And at a surface level, it seemed like you were offering the same stuff, but it was a whole different level, especially when it came to support. Again, I still love all the people in that group. I'm still active in that one. But it just went it went deeper. And so, like, there was more channels for support. So, like, obviously, one thing I loved about this program is that it's one of the only programs, I talk to pretty much everybody out there you can think of that has a program similar to this, and you never get access to the people that made the program that are actually doing what you want to do. So it's like, you see the person who went from $0 to $100,000, created this great agency, they're doing even better than that. They created this coaching program, join because you look after, that's what the position you want to be in, but you never get access to them. You get access to the people they hired. And so that's one level of support in the group, is like, we get access to you and Cody directly, which is like, you are the source of the knowledge, and that's what I wanted. And that's the main reason I joined. But then you also have the support of the coaching calls all week. And on top of those daily coaching calls throughout the week, like, some of them I can't make because of sales calls, or like, if let's say you're good with organic outreach, but you need to focus on the sales. That's why I show up to those ones, because it's important. So you have all those different calls, but then I also like, I've had one-on-one calls with the support channels. Like, you have a channel to handle just for ISA questions that's there at all time, where people will answer within 24 hours. We have the sales thread where you can post your questions. You get an answer within 24 hours. So even if we don't have to wait 7 days to the next coaching call to get an answer from you guys, because we can post it in one of those threads and get an answer in 24 hours. And that's another thing that I think attributes to how quickly I've been moving, because that's what I'm the type of person too. If I'm jumping on a sales call where there's 14 other people, I'm going to try to be the first one to say, I have a question. Let me get it this in, because I want my answer now so I can keep moving. And so, like, you guys have there's so many support channels within the group that you've made that available to us. And then also there's just like the support chat that's 24 hours where we're helping each other even when you and Cody are busy. But then just on top of that, where was I going with that? Oh, just the overall support in terms of morale, because like you said, it can be lonely, like the entrepreneur journey and all that type of stuff. And I have people in my life, of course. I got my girlfriend, I got my family. All of them are also very supportive of what I do, and they understand it takes a lot of time. But at the same time, I'm sure other people are watching this, like, when you're going through the struggles of, like, I just had my business manager shut down not long ago, and like all my client accounts are down, all that type of stuff, you feel like you're the only one dealing with it, even though that's not the case. And it's a lot of stress. And to have the support group on the daily calls where we go through our wins every day, we pat each other on the back, we keep each other motivated, that means a lot too, because although my family supports me and stuff, I also don't want to necessarily burden them with all the details all the time of business. And I can do that in this group, and we can help each other, like, keep our morale up. So I don't know if that was too lengthy of an answer, but I think it's important that everybody knows what they get, because it's not like you just get access to you guys and you have, oh yeah, you get a Facebook group. It's so much deeper than that. this genuinely feels like a family because also the calls are a lot more tight knit.
Yeah, we like to make everything as intimate as possible,
Yeah.
and also take the burden off the entrepreneur as much as possible by allowing, whether it's a team member or a partner or whomever that works directly under you, to get the necessary skills and the training by joining in under your name or adding them to the group and giving them access to training, because then that allows you to have like the scale that you need, and you don't have to worry about doing the one-on-ones. Like even this Saturday we have our ISA role play training, so the ISAs can get lengthier and strengthen their chop of objection handling and sensory acuity and all that kind of stuff. So we definitely want to level up every agency. So like if somebody's out there watching this, like what advice would you give them if they're a struggling agency and they needed to get help? Like what would you tell them if they're on the fence about our program?
Get off the fence. Obviously, I'd say jump on this side of the fence and get in the program. Like I said, I mean, I can only speak for my particular situation, but I'm sure other people listening, whether now or watching the replay, we're in a similar position where I'm sure if you're considering this course, it's probably not the first one you've been in. And like I said, my concern was, one, getting that higher level support to have the system. Like I didn't want to be in a point where I had to invest in another program that was only going to get me another $10,000, and then I had to invest in another one. Like I wanted to have one where I could continue to go forward and grow to the point, like my goal is 50,000 by the end of summer. And there's no doubt in my mind I'm going to hit that at the rate that we're going with your support. But I would say jump off the fence, because it really is an A to Z. I have never been in all those other coaching programs, a lot of the big names, some of the real estate, like ad marketing ones. I'm sure other people know exactly which ones I'm talking about right now. And this goes way beyond that. And just if you're looking for somewhere where you'll genuinely get support, where you know you'll get an answer, and you don't feel like it's completely left up to you, just like now you paid and like good luck, join this program. Because that was my overall #1 reason for joining. We have all those things of support that I mentioned, like the chat, the daily sales calls. You have the threads on Facebook where you get an answer within 24 hours. You don't have to wait till the next sales or coaching call or whatever it is during the week to get your answer. You get an answer immediately, because that's the other thing too. If you're looking for a program where somebody is actually going to put the effort in, where it feels like they genuinely care you specifically and exactly where you're at, join this one. Because like one thing I love about these coaching calls, like I said, they're more tight knit, so it allows you to do this. Now, one thing I like is, like, for instance, the bottleneck call on Wednesdays. Everybody brings their bottleneck call in. Even if we have 10 to 14 people in that call, you and Cody stay on that call as long as it takes, and you go round robin to make sure every single person that's in the Zoom call that day gets the answers to the question they need that day, which, like, I don't know any other courses that do that. It's usually you're in there and it's a Shark Tank, like I said, right? You got to fight to get your question answered within that 1 hour window of the Zoom call. If you don't, you're screwed till next week. So if you're looking for that support, get off the fence, join the program, because everything is there. It's not a matter of if the content is there, and if it's a good course, there's more than enough there. It's really only about will you do the work. And if you know you'll do the work that it requires, it is a no-brainer, no-brainer.
So it sounds like you're saying it's almost impossible to fail if you show up.
It literally is. Yeah. As long as you show up, show up and implement. Like, don't show up and just like be one of those people that soaks up the course and doesn't finish the course or whatever and doesn't do anything. If you take action, like I like to think I'm a testament of that. Like I haven't done anything special. I really did what you guys did in the course. And you also do guidance. Like, so it's not like you get this giant course with all this content and you say, okay, good luck. You and Cody say, okay, this is your particular situation. This is where you're at. Start with these 2 modules. Start with these. Focus on these. Once you get these dialed in, I'll show you where to go next. So yeah, I don't want to ramble too long.
Totally. Yeah, and for everybody out there that's listening, if you do want help, don't feel shy to reach out. It's a normal thing to do. Everybody needs mentorship. Everybody needs coaching. And regardless of where you are, whether you're at 0, whether you're at 10K, like Mason started with, or even at 100K, we build out customized roadmaps. So you start where it's most important to move the needle in your business forward. So not everybody starts at the starting line. Specifically, you start at a very special starting line, the most important one for your customized roadmap. And that's kind of where I also feel we're a little bit different from having spent like almost $500,000 in coaching myself. Everything is just more of a one-size-fits-all program. where everybody gets the same
Yeah.
starting point, no matter what their bottleneck or issues are. And that's what we really aimed to change in the game of the agency space, is allow people that freedom to kind of get to that next level, not feel lost, not feel like they just bought something and they're like, oh, well, shit, I've seen this before. Some of the stuff you may have seen before, but a lot of it is going to be brand new. Because if you're at a higher level, you have a whole new devil. If you're at a lower level, you have a lot of things to kind of create that foundation, but we can accelerate that in a very short period of time.
Yeah. Can I add something to that, Raul?
Yeah, please, of course.
One thing I want to add to that is the reason I say get off the fence is because this isn't it's not like this is my second course either. It's not like I was only in one other one and this is the only thing I have. When you were talking about like $500,000 in coaching, when I say that this has more than any other program I've been in, I just want people to know, to get an idea of how much I've invested just since September. Include GSD program, all the other programs I've been in, the other courses for Facebook ads, all this type of stuff. I've put in over $20,000 in investments in coaching and programs to get to this point I'm at. So one, it requires an investment too. So like, you're not going to be able to get there unless you invest something in yourself or your business, right? But I also just want to relay to people, it's not like this is the first ever investment I made and I'm telling you like this is the best thing out there. I've spent $20,000 or more, a little over, somewhere between $20,000 and $25,000 since the end of September on different programs, and this is by far the best one that I've joined. But I just want to make that apparent, and that's why I'm confident about it. It's not like I've seen only one other one. I've seen a lot of other ones, and I've invested a lot, and I've gotten more out of this than anything so far. I mean, you can see the jump in my business just by the numbers. So.
Awesome. Yeah. Like, so whether you do real estate, you do dentistry, you do chiro, you do consulting, coaching, whatever it is that you do, we can help you guys with the systems and the process. So if you do want help, like I said, drop a comment, give Mason some love with some hearts, some likes, some hashtag live, hashtag replay. Yeah. And we'll have a lot more content in this group coming out. Cody and I do the cash flow and closing show. We'll be making that more consistent into this free group. We're going to be doing more student spotlights, just like Mason here, just showing you what's possible and what you can achieve when you allow yourself that freedom to do so. And look out for our masterclasses. We're going to be super active. We want this to be the best agency group on the planet, and we truly mean that. I know a lot of people say it. We feel like we'll make it get there. So have a great rest of your Friday. And Mason, hey, thank you so much for jumping on here.
Absolutely. Can I say one other thing, Raul, just in case?
Course,
so if there's other people,
you dropped the mic for me.
If there's other people listening to this, I know, because sometimes like it sounds good. Oh yeah, they're gonna say good things on the call or whatever, just because it's a live event or whatever. But if anybody's watching this either now or you're watching the replay and you want to reach out to me on Facebook because you have any questions about my personal experience, or you wanted me to elaborate a little bit more on like what I think, why I think this is a good program and stuff, I'd love to reach out. I love helping people just like we help each other in the group. So if you want to reach out to me to hear anything, you can hear it first person from me too. Without being on like live if you want to. So I just wanted to put that a note out there. If they have questions about the course, I can also answer them as well. So thank you, Raul. I appreciate all the kind words that you just said. And I like I said before, I can't thank you enough, you and Cody both. So I would not be, I'd probably still be grinding at the $10,000 to $15,000 a mark point and pulling out the little bit of hair that I have. So I'm glad that I made the investment, joined the program, and it's paid off dividends. I mean, tenfold it's paid for itself, if not more. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, we'll end it with a photograph really quick, okay, while we're still live here. So smile for the camera. All right. Awesome, Mason. And everybody watching, thanks for spending some time with us here today. Drop some hearts, drop some likes. And like I said, if you do need help, just drop hashtag GSD or ping me in Messenger and we'll get you information, okay? Bye, everybody.
Thanks. Thanks, Raul.